Your hurricane into Georgia right now. I'm in Tallahassee, the capital city of Florida, where we've had a lot of trees come down. A lot of power outages are continuing to ramp up, actually, as the winds stay gusty, even as the core and the worst of Michael continues off to our north. I want to show you, actually, some of the debris down. And, you know, certainly there's much bigger trees down than some of the debris I'm about to show you. But this is telling because there's a lot of these kind of obstacles on the streets everywhere across the area. My producer went out, and this particular tree limb came down actually across the street on the other side of the street from where we are at, and then continued to blow around in the wind. And so the winds have just been persistent all day, blowing around debris, continuing to create problems. Very concerned that not just with the power outages, but this debris, these tree limbs or even trees themselves could come down and actually come down on people's homes or on their vehicles. That's why we're urging you to still stay inside your safe location until these winds let up, which will be overnight tonight. We still have a couple more hours left. Still winds are gusting in the 50s or even close to 60 miles per hour here in Tallahassee. The power numbers keep going up in terms of the outages. So we're up to about 62,000 customers right now. That's about 50% of the customers here in Tallahassee without power. I know widespread, we're about 250,000 people without power because of Michael. And I'm sure those numbers in general will go up as we see those strong winds now move through Alabama, the southeastern corner of the state, into Georgia, even up to Albany, Georgia. You guys are going to be getting some strong winds as well as very heavy rain that is moving through that area as well. So certainly this is still a developing situation. After landfall, and we saw a strong Category 4 landfall from Michael. It made landfall near Mexico Beach. I just saw some new pictures from that area. It literally just looks like a war zone with debris all over the place, roofs ripped off of homes, a lot of damage both from the severe winds as well as the surge and the water coming in as well. And that's a situation that's still unfolding as we get more images and pictures and video from that area. But what's phenomenal about Michael is just how much strength it held on to, maintaining winds 102 miles per hour in Mariana in Florida, right along I-10, and now continuing to maintain that Cat 3 strength as it moves up into southeastern Georgia. Certainly along the coast, the water rise and the surge was record-breaking, and we saw that around Apalachicola. Dr. Knabb, tell us more about what new records were set. Is the water receding, or how quickly are we seeing improvement there with that water rise?
Yeah, Apalachicola didn't get the worst surge that they could have had it been a little bit farther to the east. I mean, Mexico Beach got, the brunt of the winds and the brunt of the storm surge, but we still, at the gauge there, we are approaching 10 feet above normally dry ground. And the waters are still high down there. Let me just show you where the gauges are here, just briefly. The radar shows how the core of the hurricane is up into southwest Georgia, but we still have onshore flow into the Panhandle area. And so if you look at the gauges, Apalachicola is still about 4.5 feet above normally dry ground at the coast when you combine storm surge and tide. And Cedar Key is about 3 feet. And then we even have a storm surge watch for the Outer Banks, Jen, because as this tropical storm goes over the Carolinas, you could have a little bit of push of the water on the Sound. So, Michael is not done at the coast. Hurricanes are not just points on the map. So we continue to have coastal and inland wind and water effects far and wide.
Yeah, and so Dr. Knabb, let's talk about that, because we know that there's going to be impacts in South and North Carolina. Obviously, we're concerned about Charleston, right? We've already been dealing with the higher than normal tides because of the new moon. Can you talk about the impact specifically there to the Carolinas?
Yeah, there's going to be wind and water concerns in the Carolinas. The inland flooding is a big concern as the heavy rainfall goes through there. The tropical storm force winds could cause the power outages and some downed trees. And one thing that's happened, post-Florence is that the soil moisture is very high. The rivers are still very high. Central North Carolina, eastern South Carolina, the rivers are still in minor to moderate flood stage. And then when you get a tropical storm going through there, a potent one, you're going to have the ability ability to push that water onto the Outer Banks. So, this is not going to be a repeat of Florence, but this is a lot more than the folks of the Carolinas would like to deal with. Jen, thanks so much. I'm going to toss it over to Mike Bettis, who's still down in Apalachicola, Florida, where things are not completely calmed down. We still got a recent gust at Mexico Beach to 58 miles an hour, and the gauge is still above 4 feet, Mike, but things are better than what you had around the midday time frame.
Yeah, listen, we felt the full brunt of it, mid-afternoon, I'd say, here in Apalachicola. You take a look from above, down on Apalachicola, the Apalachicola River, out of its banks still. And it may take a little bit of time for it to completely go back within its banks. What we've been dealing with here, storm surge flooding, rainfall flooding, wind damage, extensive tree outages, but this just kind of gives you the scope in the wake of Michael, what has happened for us in Apalachicola. It's a story that's still being written, unfortunately, this evening in many places across Florida. And for some places, it's a historic storm, one the likes we've not seen before, including right here in Apalachicola with record-setting storm surge. We want you to stick around, and we come back here on the Weather Channel. We're going to talk in detail with our hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knapp, about storm surge, what it is, what levels we saw, and what it means for the Panhandle and the Big Bend of Florida.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you that Chevy won a J.D. Power Dependability Award for its midsize car, the Chevy Malibu. I forgot, Chevy also won a J.D. Power Dependability Award for its light-duty truck, the Chevy Silverado. Oh, and since the Chevy Equinox and Traverse also won, Chevy is the only brand to earn the J.D. Power Dependability Award across cars, trucks, and SUVs 3 years in a row. Third time's a charm.
With catering delivery from Olive Garden, we make the food and deliver right to your door. So you won't have to lift a finger, just a fork.
Floors with a mop and bucket is a hassle, meaning you probably don't clean as often as you'd like.
For a quick and convenient clean, try Swiffer WetJet.
There's no heavy bucket or mop to wring out because the Absorb and Lock technology traps dirt and liquid inside the pad. It's safe to use on all finished surfaces, tile, laminate, and hardwood, and it prevents streaks and hazing better than a microfiber strip mop, giving you a thorough clean the first time. For a convenient clean,
try Swiffer WetJet with a money-back guarantee.
Bren Power, helping you buy better.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly. And that continued until I got my SoClean.
SoClean is the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir.
I don't have to push a button or anything. I just put the mask in the chamber, close the lid, and it runs automatically. SoClean has been a lifesaver.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-426-0836 to take advantage of this limited time offer.
If you get a CPAP machine, don't even take it home until you have your SoClean machine right with it, because they are a marriage made in heaven.
Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-426-0836 or go to trysoclean.com.
Dun, dun, dun. Come make a wish, then make them bounce. Pride on your lips, come make that sound. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. You gotta work it, work it, work it, work it, work it.
Ready to Juvederm it? Correct age-related volume loss in cheeks with Juvederm Voluma XC. Add fullness to lips with Juvederm Ultra XC. And smooth moderate to severe lines around the nose and mouth with Juvederm XC. Tell your doctor if you have a history of scarring or are taking medicines that decrease the body's immune response or that can prolong bleeding. Common side effects include injection site redness, swelling, pain, tenderness, firmness, lumps, bumps, bruising, discoloration, or itching. As with all fillers, there is a rare risk of unintentional injection into a blood vessel, which can cause vision abnormalities, blindness, stroke, temporary scabs, or scarring. Juvederm it. Talk to your doctor about the Juvederm collection of fillers.
There's enough Coffee Mate pumpkin spice flavor for one more cup.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, every time.
You know I can only do paper, right?
Oh, because the
Coffee Mate seasonal flavors are here.
It's like a mitt with no fingers.
Oh.
It's about 10:30 in the morning, and we're already seeing the surge come in here in Apalachicola. This is Lafayette Park. You can see one of the vehicles in the parking lot is already taking on water here.
Okay, it is 10:43 local time here in Panama City Beach, Florida. The wind is picking up. The waves are just a constant. And you know what? The worst is yet to come.
11:45 in Apalachicola, and the Apalachicola River is moving onto Water Street right now. We are already seeing some of this flooding expected with this hurricane.
See that right there? That's been going buzz, 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 buzz. It is going downhill and downhill very fast for us here.
But we're starting to see a little bit more damage with more debris coming down in the water here on Water Street. Power lines are now down.
We're starting to see the roofs being ripped off buildings.
Welcome to live television, everybody.
Those are the sights and the sounds, the images of Hurricane Michael, one of the strongest hurricanes to actually ever make landfall in the United States. And then we take a look from above, down on Apalachicola, Florida, in the Big Bend of Florida, a place that was inundated by storm surge, and the water still remains high as the sun is getting closer and closer to setting what has been a very dark day in Florida weather history. You take a look at Apalachicola, we've got water still high from the Apalachicola River. We've got structural damage. We have roofs that have been damaged. We've got boardwalks that have been damaged. We have marinas that have been damaged, tractor trailers that have been tipped over. And folks just trying to assess now what happened here in a really, really tough weather day. Winds were gusting over 90 miles an hour and record-setting storm surge. And there are even folks out there. There's a person down there literally just standing in the middle of the floodwater taking a look. Probably just dumbfounded, as so many people are, after having witnessed what they witnessed today. A really life-changing event for so many Floridians. Thank you for being with us tonight for our coverage here of Hurricane Michael. Still a serious threat across Florida and then eventually through Georgia and the Carolinas. I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis. We're up on US 98 looking down on Apalachicola, and you can see how much the river has come out of its banks. Dr. Nab, you know, surge is one of those things that is so dangerous. And we look at now what's happened here, still even hours after the highest surge. This is the thing that we warn people about. This is the thing that we've gotten a lot better at forecasting, right? You know, we now have storm surge warnings. We have inundation maps, all these things that we learn from every single hurricane that makes landfall in this country.
Yeah, and a lot of technology has been brought to bear in recent years to be more specific about which areas could get life-threatening storm surge flooding. And I think when we see the pictures from Mexico Beach, you're going to see what devastating storm surge along with major hurricane force winds can do. I don't know how we're going to sort out, Mike, in some places, what did the damage in Mexico Beach. Was it the water or was it the wind? But in Apalachicola, you know, you still got, as you can see in the shot behind you, water that's higher than usual because there's still onshore flow on the south side of this hurricane.
Dr. Nab, it's going to be all about the wind, right? When the wind changes direction and goes offshore for us, or just goes calm, that's when we'll see the rest of this water go back into the Apalachicola River.
Yeah, because right now, on the entire Florida Panhandle coast, you're still within the envelope of Michael's circulation. You know, hurricanes are large. Even the smallest hurricanes are still pretty large weather systems. And so there's still flow out of the southwest and generally onshore into the overall Panhandle area. And so this area is remaining high because that northeastern Gulf is a catcher's mitt, right? It's going to capture that water, and the water's not going to completely recede, but it has come down. It's only about half as high as it was at the height of the storm, Mike.
All right, Dr. Nab, you know, ultimately, this hurricane is going to cost billions of dollars. They all do, right? At some point in time, when you see, these businesses that are down here that are right on the water, at some point in time, they're going to have to rethink what they're doing, right? Because we can't keep rebuilding and we can't keep paying for the cost of all these different structures that are built in places that are so vulnerable to the weather and so vulnerable to surge.
Well, I think the bottom line is that we can continue to live in these areas as long as we do it in an insurable way, meaning that people are paying for the flood insurance and the hurricane and wind insurance commensurate with the risk. And in these coastal areas, you are vulnerable to both devastating wind and devastating flooding from both saltwater and freshwater. So in order to continue to live in these vulnerable areas, we're going to have to be properly insured, and we're going to have to continue to plan way ahead for the next one so that we can be safe during the storm and recover as quickly as possible in the aftermath. But we don't have all aftermath to talk about. There's still forecasting to do. Where's Michael headed next? We'll talk about that.
Oh, Eric, I didn't know you were with the UPS store.
Yeah, we printed that sign.
I thought you just did shipping.
Oh, no, we do printing, packing, notarizing, faxing, shredding, mailboxing, taping, laminating, consulting, trading, designing, returning, and of course, shipping.
I can't feel my legs. I should really get him home.
From printing to packing to mailboxing, go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
Today, back pain can't win. Now introducing Aleve Back and Muscle Pain. Only Aleve targets tough pain for up to 12 hours with just one pill. Aleve Back and Muscle, all day strong, all day long.
A once in 500-year storm should happen every 500 years, right? Fact is, there have been 26 in the last decade. Allstate is adapting with drones to assess home damage sooner. And if a flying object damages your car, you can snap a photo and get your claim processed in hours, not days. Plus, Allstate can pay your claim in minutes. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
I didn't really know anything about my family history. Went to Ancestry. I put in the names of my grandparents first. I got a leaf right away. A leaf is a hint that is connected to each person in your family tree. I learned that my 10 times great grandmother is George Washington's aunt. Within a few days, I went from knowing almost nothing to, holy crow, I'm related to George Washington. This is my cousin George.
Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com. Experience a blend of refined craftsmanship and raw power, engineered to take the crown. The Lexus LS500 and LS500H. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Promote what makes your business great with Vistaprint. Whether it's a business card, a banner, or a postcard, we have the paper stocks, sizes, and design options to create marketing that's right for your business. Give it a try with 500 standard business cards starting at just $9.99 when you use code VP500 at Vistaprint.com.
Did you know Stanley Steamer's the one to call in a water emergency? With a fleet of over 3,000 vans, we get there fast, 24/7. Call 1-800-STEAMER and get back to dry.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
If you have psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats moderate to severe plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Welcome back to our live continuing team coverage of Hurricane Michael. Its effects Span far and wide, and all the way up in the Atlanta metro area, there's now a tornado warning in effect for portions, not all of them, portions of Cobb, Douglas, and Fulton counties. This is in effect just to the west and southwest of downtown Atlanta, in effect till 7 p.m. Eastern time. Now, this is moving off to the west, and Sarah, our weather producer, is giving me details. How fast is this one, Sarah? Moving west at 20 miles per hour. So you can see the velocity signature there just north of East Point. So this is, to the west of I-75 and moving in a westerly direction just south of Interstate 20 here. Okay, so, but that interstate is in the warning. You cannot guarantee just exactly where the tornado will go, but this is radar indicated moving off to the west. Now, why is it moving in that direction? You might be thinking that's not the way tornadoes go in Atlanta, right? That's because you're on the northern side of the envelope of Michael's circulation. Okay. So again, a tornado warning in effect in the metro Atlanta area until 7 p.m. Eastern time, mostly to the west and southwest of downtown, moving toward 285 along and south of Interstate 20. And, some of the areas that are in effect, that could be affected by this, we'll show you here in a second. In Stratford, you could be affected by this by 6:43 local time. Right now, it's 6:39, so you want to find a safe place to take shelter. Don't go outside and try to confirm it. These tropical cyclone-induced tornadoes are usually wrapped in rain, very difficult to see visually. Could be affecting the Adamsville Health Center by 6:46 p.m. And those of you familiar with the area know that the Six Flags Over Georgia theme parks out there west of 285, just south of I-20, could be in that area by 6:51 p.m. So again, this tornado warning in effect until 7 p.m. Eastern time. And this is far, far away from the center of circulation. This is not an indication that the center of Matthew is on your way. This is simply an indication of what can happen far away from the circulation center. Now look at this. This debris signature would certainly indicate, based on what the radar is showing, that there's a tornado kicking up some debris and causing some damage. Obviously, we don't have visual confirmation of this tornado yet, but this debris signature is certainly very, very concerning. So take this very seriously. Do not go outside to check things out. Trust the warning and find your safe place immediately. Okay. Lowest level, most interior room. Get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Look at that debris signature and how much dense population and communities are in this area. This is just to the east of Cascade Heights. Okay, so if you're in that area, hopefully you're in the safest place possible indoors. Get off the roads. Sylvan Hills is just down to the east of where we've gotten this debris signature. And so here's Interstate 20, okay, coming out of downtown, and here's 285, okay, the western loop. And this is the area where this tornado is generally headed. And there are obviously a lot of people on the roads this time of day, getting to the latter portion of the commute. If you're on Interstate 20 headed west of town, and if you're on 285 on the west side, this would be a good time to get off the road and find some shelter. And if you're in this area west of downtown Atlanta, you want to find shelter immediately. Again, a tornado warning in the metropolitan Atlanta area, and this correlation coefficient is indicative of there being debris, and this very well could mean the tornado is on the ground and causing damage. And there's plenty of information that we are able to access that tells us that there is a lot of traffic on the roads here. And I've driven this stretch of 285 many, many times, and it can get backed up, right? So you want to find safe shelter. If you can get off the road there on the interstate on 285 on the west side, it'd be a good idea to do so. A car is not a great place to be when a tornado is coming through. So again, giving you an idea of the timing of this. Current time around 6:43 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, the last radar scan was at 6:40. But if you're in Stratford, this will be coming through you around 6:46 p.m., Romer Academy around 6:47, Adamsville Health Center around 6:49, the Six Flags theme park area just west of 285, just south of Interstate 20, could be in that region around 6:54, Turner Middle School around 7:06 p.m. So again, this is just to the southwest of downtown Atlanta, just south of Interstate 20, which is in the warning. Okay, and this is going westward. Again, this is not like your typical tornado in your springtime or fall time middle latitude frontal systems where the tornadoes tend to come in from the west or the southwest. This is on the north side of the circulation of Matthew. I did it again. It's Michael, and the motion is off to the west because you're on the north side of that big low pressure system. So in the Cascade Heights area, you've got to be taking shelter. In the Stratford area near 285, you've got to be taking shelter. Again, a tornado warning for this outer band of Hurricane Michael in the metro area. Get to the lowest level, most interior room. We will keep you updated on this tornado warning and all the hazards Michael is bringing into Georgia. Stay with us.
You can drink, eat well, and exercise, but to look completely healthy, you need healthy skin. Cetaphil is clinically shown to strengthen the skin's barrier and protect even the most sensitive skin against dryness, so you can look healthier. Complete your healthy routine with Cetaphil.
Nothing outlasts Energizer Ultimate Lithium. Hey, you can't do that. Can he do that?
Yeah, he's good.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. It's the #1 longest lasting battery.
With catering delivery from Olive Garden, we make the food and deliver right to your door. So you won't have to lift a finger, just a fork.
You never forget your first race. And you never back down from the next. You're the brotherhood of muscle.
Today's Best Western rewards you in a flash. Get a free night fast with points that never expire at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Touch shows how we really feel. But does psoriasis ever get in the way? Embrace the chance of 100% clear skin with Taltz, the first and only treatment of its kind offering people with moderate to severe psoriasis a chance at 100% clear skin. With Taltz, up to 90% of people quickly saw a significant improvement of their psoriasis plaques. Don't use if you're allergic to Taltz. Before starting, you should be checked for tuberculosis. Taltz may increase risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, symptoms, or received a vaccine or plan to. Inflammatory bowel disease can happen with Taltz, including worsening of symptoms. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Ready for a chance at 100% clear skin? Ask your doctor about Taltz.
So you think this chip is nothing to worry about? Well, at Safelite, we know sooner or later, every chip will crack. These friends were on a trip when their windshield got chipped. So they scheduled